What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Good afternoon. We don't have much time. We have a lot to get to, and I have some other things that I got to run to as well. So I want to make sure we didn't miss a live. So it is 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Good afternoon to the entire country, world, wherever you're watching from. And well, it is Wednesday. And we are fired up on a Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So, of course, we have NAFM stuff going on. We always want to mention we have Electrolux Professional taking care of that event for you. Top Golf going down. The sponsor for the Fed event, Electrolux Professional. Shout out to the team at Electrolux Professional. And we're going to be releasing some things on that. We also have some other news. Going fired up on Friday. We're going to go on a Fired Up Live with JMC Equipment with Mel Steves of JMC Friday at 10 a.m. Eastern. So stay tuned for that. I guess Lisa's got, you're going to make a little. I
have to schedule that.
Yeah.
You guys will see it.
Then you'll be able to remind yourself and jump on board with the live. Live from Earth. Yes, sir.
It's Rich Maggie.
Yes, sir. Q Dubs down in VA. And Melvin, what's going on, brother? Good afternoon to you. What is going on with you guys? Are you fired up in your market? What are you doing? Throw them in the comments. Let's have a conversation. I am going to jump on something here that's kind of a hot topic right now in Fed Nation, and that is response times, Lisa.
Uh-oh.
So Nathan Miller down in Florida at Coastal says it's poll time. It was a great poll. It was a great topic. So we're going to talk about service level agreement and more specifically expected response times. What is the best standard response time you give a client on a regular basis? We're talking on the service side right now, ladies and gentlemen. So for the food equipment industry at large, technicians are busy. Let's just say that. Aside from that, service companies have responsibilities when they sign contracts with manufacturers, when they sign contracts with customers, and response time is one of the top few things that are always talked about. You know, if I place a call with you today, Rich, how fast are you going to get there? You know, we want to know. So we're really in a unique situation, I think, at this point in the economy, in the world, because of the way things opened up and blew up in our faces. And we're all struggling to meet these demands, meet these times, deadlines, all these different things we're trying to meet. And it's really challenging because nobody has enough technicians. Nobody has enough operations. Nobody has enough warehouse. It's across the board. And it's really hard to pin down when at this point. So I really wanted to talk about this, and Nathan, and I don't know if I just told everybody in that little thread that I'm going live. So maybe we'll get some traction here. I hope some of these guys and gals can jump in. If not, and you're watching the replay, feel free to jump in. Thank you for joining on the replay. If you are, jump in with some comments. Let's keep the conversation going. We can keep this going on another live. So some people said 24 hours, 7 votes for 24 hours, 5 votes for 48 hours on the response time. And then there's 72, which nobody responded to. My response typically in a post-pandemic, way post-pandemic, not in this kind of level of craziness, when things kind of start to, teeter down a little bit, I would say 24 to 48 hours is fair for a response time. Now, there are some manufacturers that have sat across the table from big, large chain accounts that have said, well, our service network is going to respond within 4 hours. That's putting words in all of our mouths. And I think we've talked about this many a times. And I understand what you're trying. Service is a big piece of the puzzle when you're selling equipment. Our guys, our gals that are out here in the trenches, man, I mean, that's a major piece of the puzzle to the big, beautiful equipment that's being sold. We're installing it, we're servicing it, we're maintaining it in warranty, out of warranty for the life cycle. Service is important. And, you want to drive home to these large accounts. These are key accounts that we're going to be there for you within 4 hours, guaranteed. Really hard to guarantee a 4-hour response time in a world. We go pre-pandemic. We're in 2018, 2019. We're busy then. We're all busy, service companies. So to say 4 hours, it's a stretch. And now Jesus's great comment, 12 to 48 hours for us, but we are small, and I think it's all relevant to size sometimes when you look at the company. We're not a large company by any stretch, 16, 17 technicians, and building and growing. But, if you have one guy, two guys, and you're not getting bombarded, that might be more realistic for you. I could tell you right now, on our assigned list, between cold calls, new hot equipment requests, warranty calls, there's well over 100 that are just unassigned today.
Whew.
What do you do with them? What do you do? I already got the next 2 weeks planned to an extent. You can't even put everything in stone because things change every day, and you need to leave space for those 4-hour responses because there's going to be walk-ins that are going down. People are going to be losing product. Walk-ins going down take precedence. There's going to be certain things that take precedence. So if you're, we're talking critical equipment here. We're not talking about toasters or slicers or any of that stuff. It's not critical. But when you're talking about combi ovens and you're talking about walk-in boxes and you're talking about, banks of fryers and things of this nature where you have to start 86 menu items and it starts costing you loss in revenue. Now we're talking, we need to get there fast. So we're trying to put those to the top of the list. So, these response times are tough to really say. That's why it's hard for me to, and Nathan, by the way, if you're watching, I don't know if you watch the replay, watch it now. It's hard for me to get it all down in the comments and speak through it because there's a lot to it. So, do I want to get there in 24 hours or less? Absolutely. We're too busy for me to say, yeah, you got it. And I'm being super honest. We're picking up new accounts and new things are coming. It's like, oh my God. And a lot of these new, I see so many new stuff, Lisa. And you want to know why I feel like I see a lot of new names and faces popping up on my board is because whoever they've been calling on for the last decade is telling them they can't do it either because they're busy. So they're just probably calling every company under the sun and whoever gets their first wins. And I get that, but we have key accounts here. We have key accounts. Key accounts matter. Key accounts are what we revolve our board around. Okay. So, and I know, Nathan, we talk about rates, if you're going in that 4-hour response time, if a manufacturer or somebody says, I need you in 4 hours. Well, you want me in 4 hours. It's not going to be, $90 an hour. It's going to be $180 an hour. You're going to have to pay for that. For me to adjust my schedule and tell other people that I was coming to, I'm not coming. You got to pay me $500 to walk through your door, $400 to walk through your door, whatever it might be. I don't know about that because here's my problem with that. If it's a new customer, you're starting out on the wrong foot. They're not going to forget that you just took them down the river for all that. And listen, I get it because the expenses and the things we do and the overhead we have, I get those prices. Trust me. I'm not looking at it from my perspective. I'm looking at it from their perspective. I'm the new guy on the block. You're telling me I need you there within 4 hours. You're going to cost me $400. We're already starting out bad. Are they going to come back after that? I don't know. I'd rather tell them the truth and say, you know what? I probably can't get to you for another week or so. I could put you on my board. If something happens where we have a cancellation, if we're in the area, maybe we could squeeze you in, different things of that nature. Let's do it that way. Or just offer them basic overtime rate and say, listen, I could probably get to you tomorrow after 5. There's just a lot of conversation I think that needs to happen. Every call is going to be different. You treat each customer accordingly. But I don't really like that whole surge and rate thing for me. It just doesn't sit well for the long-term play of keeping that customer here with me. So Jay Maiden, I know he's a cold pack guy for walk-ins. Emergency service is expected in less than 4 hours. Non-emergency is less than 72 hours. And Jay is not wrong. I have a walk-in. A customer call in for the walk-in down. We're figuring out how the hell I can get there in the next couple hours. We are, but when you look at it from a perspective, again, you have to look at it facts and you have to look at it by numbers because we could just say things all day long, but when you look at numbers don't lie. And what I'm talking about is if I have 6 technicians that do refrigeration, which I do, we have 6 only that do refrigeration in the entire state of New Jersey. And you have 200 plus on the board refrigeration, and you got a couple of dozen walk-ins down. Who do you go to? When do you go to them? How do you get to them all? The answer is you can't because these guys don't work 24 hours a day. This is tough, guys. This is tough territory. You know, and I'm with all my service guys and gals across the country, man. I know it's tough. It's hard. It's kicking people's asses right now. Technicians are tired. Service managers are tired. Parts managers are tired. And yeah, Quentin, key accounts are the bread and butter. And that is whether anyone chooses to accept it and whether anyone says it out loud or not. I'll be the guy to say it out loud with Quentin. Our key accounts are our bread and butter. We go to them first. They get top service. They get precedence over everything else. There's just no other way around it. You know, and let's go back into the comments. Let's see here. Into the comments. Yeah, so Taz over at Walmart. By the way, Taz, congratulations
on the new employment.
Yes. He's been upgraded.
He has been.
And rightfully so, man. The dude's a beast. I mean, he just has so much knowledge.
I don't even have that title.
Yeah.
But he has.
No, me either.
Damn.
But you know, he's asking for 48 hours or P5 120 hours, emergency response 4 hours. I said ask for this year has thrown the curve, but pre-pandemic we usually got around 2-day average response and 3-day average complete. And by the way, yes, and I will say that in-house here, I'm not talking about the world right now. We cannot talk about the world that it is right now. Just like Taz mentioned, pre-pandemic. All right. We're talking like maybe next year at some point that we're gonna be out of the woods, weeds, to be able to get to calls in a timely fashion. And in-house here, we have a 3-day completion. That's what we want. 3 days. If we get a call on a Monday, from that call, within 2 to 3 business days, that call should be closed. The customer should be up and running, and we should be done. That is what we keep in place. I think that is pretty standard for most Sefesa companies, certified Sefesa companies, any companies out there with standards doing their thing. We're rocking and rolling. We have good people that care, and we make that happen. But we're not in that situation right now, and I think that's where all these response times, you know, this just chatter needs to kind of there has to be a empathy on both ends of the fence, but there has to be a reality. We can't be living in these we can't be living in all these what am I trying to say, Lisa?
Like kind of like
Fantasylands. I mean, we can't live in fantasy camp here. You know?
All right, that works.
We just can't. You know,
I was gonna say like a past mindset.
That too. Mindset. That too. I mean, because where we were to where we are now. Again, I think, and anyone in the service industry, feel free to chime in. It's gonna level out. You know, the world exploded because everyone's trying to make money. Businesses have been dying to get back to this. You know, the Jersey Shore is pumping again. People are out like COVID never happened, and that's great. It's time. It's time to get back to it. We can't keep staying home forever. So I'm happy to see that it's all happening, but the challenges are tremendous right now.
This would be a really cool series. Just Alice the salesman in Wonderland.
Yeah, that's where we're operating. We can't operate as in Wonderland over here. So, and I went on to tell Nathan. So Nathan, you know, he was. So, I want to make sure I get it. So he was saying, thanks for the feedback. For everyone that responded, less than 24-hour standard response. Are you charging regular rates? We talked about that, but I went on to say that I always charge regular rates. I never saw a company upcharge for that stuff. Where am I at here? I was talking about, okay, so talking about guaranteeing these times. I guarantee nothing. So, you know, we do our best to hit those response times, but I can't, there's not a company on the planet that's going to dictate what we do. All right. I mean, that's just not possible. You can't dictate what we're doing. It's our business. It's our company. We're running it as we see fit. Same thing goes for this company and this company and this company and this company and so on. Nobody opens their doors and says, how am I going to run my company best for Maliki Parts and Service today? Outside of, you know, you know, they don't wake up thinking about how they're going to run their company better for me. They do it. They run how they're going to for themselves, for their employees, for their customers. we're all partners in this thing. We talk about that. We have a very unique industry, from the manufacturers to the rep to the dealer to the service to consultants. It's very unique, and we're all pulling from the same customer in many senses. So it's one of these things that we do have to be aware of each other. We have to communicate to each other. We have to set the proper expectations to all these customers, these mutual customers. Installations. I talked about that so many times over the past month. We're backed up. I can't unload guys day in and day out on installations like I normally would, because I have down equipment, critical down equipment, and everyone wants me there tomorrow. Everyone wants me there today. I have, companies that we work together, and they'll call me and say, "Hey, Rich, can you go up to Nanuet? Can you go out to here?" And damn, like the good guy, the good person, the businessman in me wants to say, "Yeah, I want it all. Give me it." But I would just be doing all of us a disservice to say yes to everything. I can't keep saying yes. My man Vin.
Communication and priority is important. Communication with the customer is very important, and most understand.
Yeah, that's the communication aspect of it all. When we're talking to our customers, Geraldine is constantly reaching out. Samantha's reaching out. Janine's reaching out. I'm reaching out. We're constantly staying in touch with as many people as possible. I love to stay in touch with the higher level accounts, our chains, our supermarkets and stuff like that. And just let them know. And we just took on a very big school district. I just let them know, like, listen, hey, Rich, we have a couple of calls. Awesome. I got you. We're going to go meet next week. I'm going to sit down with them and set the expectations. A very large school district. I want them to understand this is not normalcy. All right. You're not going to see the Malachi that you saw in September 2019. Yeah. You're going to see September 2021 Malachi, and we're going to be a little bit slower on the response.
But I was going to say, they are reaching out in July now. What's the typical? So what's 2019 Malachi look like compared to now? But are they reaching out early enough that they are going to be set before school's open?
For this particular one, they do a lot as many school districts might do. They do have summer school, and they do are still feeding families.
Gotcha.
So they have stuff in walk-in boxes, and if it goes warm, they're going to lose product.
Yeah.
And listen, that's the last thing that we want. So we stay on the communication aspect of it. We could actually see ahead for them and say, okay, listen, you called me today. You got a walk-in down. You have product in there right now? Okay, no problem, sir. Do you have any other reach-ins or another walk-in or anything that is working that you can move that food to? Let's figure out where that product's going to go so you don't lose it. And because I'm going to get there today for that walk-in. I know it's important, or I'm going to get there at least worst case, tomorrow.
Yeah.
But let's move it. That's where the communication does come in. And I think we do a pretty damn good job of that here. I don't think people realize the time and the effort that goes into running a service department. Sitting in that service manager seat, I used to from 6 a.m. until 10 p.m. I was here. Forget about me. Imagine I never saw my dad. I didn't know who he was. It strained our relationship tremendously. I didn't know anything about my father. All I knew is that he was working. Where's Dad? He's working. He's at work working. We would be on vacations in Bermuda. Like he saved up all this money back when I was 16. Or going to Bermuda. I was like, oh my God. 2 days in, he left. He was getting calls for this, and that.
Get out.
He's like, my mom's Jane. He's like, Jane, I gotta go.
Wow.
We didn't have he might have had one guy, maybe two guys back at this point. He was just really kickstarting. He was just starting to see return on his investment. It took him 5, 6, 7 years before he started making any real money here.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. We would go to Disney. He went to Disney World. Took my sister. A few days in, he had to leave again. Wow. There was never a vacation he saw through to the end. It takes everything. It takes your time. It takes you from your family. It takes you from your vacations. You own it. And I'm going off a little bit off on the response time thing, but what do we got?
Quentin says, at our local system, we bought used reefer trailers to pull to schools when walk-ins went down. I worked there during 2020.
So at our local system, we bought
school system,
we bought used reefer trailers. Wow.
What's a reefer trailer?
Oh man, you've probably seen them around. You just maybe not looking for it. But next time you're out, like driving down the road, you might see. It's probably on. They're on hitches. I should probably pull them up and look, but they're on hitches. I think I remember U.S. Refrigeration out of Maryland. I think they were doing a big rental business on those.
Okay.
Look up U.S. Refrigeration. There's like a rental business, so it's like almost like a U-Haul trailer. You open it up, it's just completely refrigerated.
Gotcha.
So yeah, I mean, yeah. So cutting the people of the service industry a little slack right now, and not necessarily. Listen, I'm not looking for poor rich, like no, not poor me. Just cutting some of these people a little slack in the sense that I know they're working 12, 13, 14, 15, 16-hour days. And, it's nice to see everyone working. It's nice to see business starting to boom. But again, we're not going to we're going to make some friends. We might make some enemies along the way, which we don't want to. But being in business, that's what happens. You're not going to please everyone. And, it's just not possible. And we're not sitting here trying to please everyone. We're just sitting here trying to be honest with everyone. And if you don't like the honest answer, I understand. I'm a customer to many different vendors and different things too. I just try to take it all from where it's coming from and how it's going. People are busy, trying to get this test kitchen off the ground. I'm not calling these people yelling and screaming. It is what it is. All right. I know some things might be more critical than my test kitchen, obviously, which we're not serving food to people, but we'd like to someday.
Yeah.
So I think there just needs to be more understanding on these response times in 2021. Now, when we pass this, I'm going to say this. When we pass 2021 and we start rocking and rolling in 2022, 2023, pandemic's really behind us, that curve is kind of leveled, and we've had some time to really regroup and to really put new people on and to really get people back to the workforce, there might be a different conversation then. But right now, I wouldn't expect any service company across the country to say, I'm going to get there in 4 hours guaranteed. They're going to do their best. That's what you're going to get. I don't know. Let's see if I left anything else out here. I don't want to leave nothing out.
Are you going to go fired up tomorrow, or I won't be here tomorrow?
Oh, I might go rogue.
You go rogue, okay?
I might go rogue. Gonna fire it up tomorrow. Chris Rowling said, Nathan Miller, can you request a more reasonable P level once you review the critical info? We adhere to a 4-hour response, as in acknowledge the call and state expected ETA. But if the visit is in critical emergency, can request a 48-hour site visit. Our rates are based on meeting the SLA and can only add overtime when approved, which is right. If there's overtime approval, that's a different story. So, I'm not going to say, I can get, because quite honestly, even if I said, I'm going to charge you $1,000 to walk through your door, I still got nobody to send.
Exactly.
That's the whole point. So you're going to have to wait until a lot of these things are scheduled or are taken care of people that have already been waiting 4 days, 6 days, 8 days, 10 days. I got people that are saying, hey, listen, we can get by. We'll wait. We want you. We want this tech. We want that. People know our tech's here for a long time. I'll wait for him. I'll wait for him. Could you just give me a date? All right, listen. What is it? July 14th. Okay, July 20th. Okay, we'll schedule 8 a.m. Okay, I'll take him.
Yeah.
So, yeah, Lisa. I think I had other stuff to say, but I lost my train of thought. Damn, these lives are tough.
No, they're not for you.
Nah, we do okay. So again, I'm gonna end it like this. Response times right now, we just can't commit. Let's just stay communicative. If you're calling here for service, we got you. Stay communicative. Reach out to me. If you're not getting answers, you're not getting what you want to hear. I don't know if I'm going to give you what you want to hear, but reach out. Let me see what I can do for you. I have my guys and my gals that reach out to me on my phone all day long. If I can make a mountain move, I'll move a mountain. If I can't, I'll tell you dead straight, honest. And that's what I was going to say about the response time. So sometimes it's got to be that overtime. By the way, just because you approve overtime doesn't mean I have someone to send tonight, because I've already got 4 overtime approvals, 5 over. I've already got guys working overtime. I can't keep them out till midnight. They got to go home and go to sleep.
Yes. they
got to eat. They got to eat dinner. They got to unwind. So they got to get home at some point. So even overtime stuff today could be 2-3 days. It's just where we're at. The board is crazy, Lisa. It's insane. I love it. I do love it. But I just hate disappointing people. That's the problem. And we're in the disappoint game right now. But we're going to get better. The whole world's going to get better. Stay tuned. Stay positive. It's coming. Just be happy that the world is open. How about that?
Be happy.
Be happy we're alive. We're working. We're fired up. We're moving through our day. And that's it, man. So if you guys want to get fired up with me, let me know. So many things to talk about. NAFM, Fed event, Top Golf, Electrolux Professional is sponsoring. Hopefully we'll see you guys there. And I guess that's it.
That's it.
Well, listen,
Goodbye.
Thanks for joining me on this Fired Up Live. If you're watching on the replay, if you came back to watch, I appreciate you very much. Stay well, be kind to each other, and I'll see you tomorrow when I go rogue.